This is a presentation about Flint Pond and the fact that it is not Lake Quinsigamond. It's an issue for the Worcester residents of Flint Pond who do not feel they are represented, nor is their perspective and data considered regarding safety issues and their fair access to the pond, particularly a direct view 24/7 of Oak Island. We're the only ones in the system that have that in our face. Flint Pond is not Lake Quinsigamond. The capacity is saturated. Fair access to all is compromised. Public safety is in jeopardy. It should be the mandate of responsible citizens and governing bodies to protect its citizens. With safety assured, we can then move on to the next step of fair access. Anything short is negligent, administrative complacency, and an accident waiting to happen. Usable area of this pond is less than Indian Lake. Indian Lake has already banned jet skis. To quote a mother there, why wait for someone to die before doing something? And it's simply a math and physics exercise. There are too many vehicles in too small a space. And when that happens, injury occurs because people can't stop. Jet skis are difficult. They require 200 to 400 feet to stop, particularly if there's a head-on issue. A portion of the pond is also a waterway connection to the boat ramp and the main lake. It's like a super highway passing through a parking lot. In addition, the traffic pattern as well as the superhighway is like Kelly Square with multiple race cars trying to get through, and basically it's an accident waiting to happen. I list the Kelly Square reference because those of you in Worcester know what I'm talking about. There are only really 40 usable acres. This is Lake Quinsigamond, this is Flint Pond, and they talk about this area and this area and this area as other ponds. They're really just swamps and not at all usable. So this area over here is this area over here, and it's only 40 acres approximately. It's certainly well under 75 acres, which is the state limit for jet skis. And again, stopping distance for a jet ski at maximum speed with two of them head-on would be about this much space. This is the 500-foot mark. You can see how little stopping area there is. And then if you factor in everybody else running around here, it's become dangerous. It's an accident waiting to happen. Again, this is Flint Pond, our home. We're blowing it up. It's this pond. And we look directly out at Oak Island. We're the only ones who see all this activity. Even the people who live on the Shrewsbury side don't see the Oak Island head-on, and they don't see the boat ramp head-on, and they don't get a sense of the superhighway traffic pattern head-on. We're the only ones who have that, and we have not been heard. And someone's going to die. The jet skis exacerbate the problem. The police boats say they cannot get through in this area. However, they could come through the boat ramp, so that I don't know why they don't do that. And remember, Route 20 just separates the whole system from the rest of the world. Really, those other areas look just like this. They're not usable at all. So, if we look at the area, this is Pineland Street neighborhood. They've been complaining about noise. The Point Rock condos are there. The swimming beach is there. Here's an example of a jet ski in the middle, and if you give them a relative 300-foot barrier to be a little bit safe amongst each other, there's not much room. Then you put in a couple boats leaving from our docks here, going out to the main lake. And then you can factor in, say, 3 fishing boats leaving from the boat ramp over here, going out to the main lake or the swamp over here. And their trajectory might be something like this, although they might also go all around in here randomly. There's Oak Island, and then there's suddenly an onslaught of people from there, and they loiter there. They loiter right in the middle of the superhighway. And then there's even a rental business at times where a few jet skis are running around all day by dozens of people sharing them. And then, of course, there's parties, drinking, and fires. And as it says here, the cops just left, call everyone back. That's what happens. We see it all the time. We'll call, and then they disperse, and when the cops leave, they come back. So there's really not, it's not the cops' fault. It's a problem of 24/7 surveillance. And finally, the noise on the island, on Oak Island, is prohibitive. It's really like an amphitheater effect. I'll try to demonstrate some of that. So here's Oak Island. Large groups of people gather. There have been 100 past midnight. They moor their skis here. That's illegal. There can be a dozen skis. They drink. They take turns riding at high speed. And this has not been solved by the Shrewsbury police, the Worcester police, or the environmental police for 30 years. Something has to be done. I think maybe the smartest thing is, maybe has been suggested, is clear it out and make it a nice park so they can't hide there and do naughty things. One of the other problems is they ride at night without lights. And then again, they blare their boom boxes and make fires. And the police have even warned of gang activity. And all this activity is illegal. So it needs to be controlled by Shrewsbury, which owns that land. This was the E. coli ban, no wake day, where no one was supposed to be swimming or making a wake. And here's what we saw. Here's kids off a boat. Here's a jet skier. Luckily he didn't hit them. Here's Oak Island with many people gathering. Here's an example of how large a spray they make. They like to do tricks. And when they make a spray like that, they will basically hide all those bobbing heads and this boat. That spray would be about this big. Again, here's a couple more jet skis. They're all very close to these kids swimming in the water. And the other problem that happens in the traffic pattern is that people will take out their rafts. Here's 3 or 4, maybe 5 kids on a raft being pulled, and the jet ski luckily turned in time. But if you notice, there's times where the jet ski spray completely hides the kids there, and we've seen near misses. Again, an issue about the traffic pattern in Kelly Square. I'm going to demonstrate. First of all, there's a water ski slalom course that's built in and permanent here, but people would be going like this back and forth, and back and forth like this, and then back and like this. Then you have the people on the tubes. They go every which way, like I showed you. There's often 3 or 4, sometimes with 5 people on each tube. Then you've got the fishermen who are leaving. There's 3 fishing boats, for example, leaving from the ramp over here, going past Oak Island. And then the problem is, once all this aggressive activity is ongoing in the lake, it's physically impossible for these people to navigate, and they basically leave and or just fear for their lives. And the swimmers have no chance at all. So the day of the E. coli ban. I'm going to play this now, and I'm going to mute myself so you can hear the activity, and then I'll highlight an after game mapping of what happened. Within 50 feet of these people who are swimming, and he's coming way off to the side, but again, they're all within 50 yards of the shore over there. Turning about, anybody coming on the shore would have trouble. You can see when they all start going, it can get hectic and be difficult to slow down. So here's this guy going around. There's this guy going way too fast, way past this other guy. They'll often race. And here they come turning around. And so, again, here they are. There's the people who's within 50 yards. They're all, and here he goes, way too fast. There's the other guy he almost hit. There's the people in the water. He's within 50 yards of them. The number of the boats. They tend to congregate over here, and also I don't know if they're coming off the boat ramp. They're not allowed to anchor and picnic over there, but they will commonly get a group of them there and then change the riders from one to the next. So there'll be half a dozen people there, each sharing the jet ski, going, taking turns such that one jet ski can serve as, say, 6 people. If there's 4 jet skis with 6 people each, that's 24 people, and there can be a huge crowd there with an infinite supply of people going back and forth, threatening the people in the middle of the lake, like you see here. Okay, so here's a replay. This is where I took my camera, and there's the kids in the boat. That's their boat. There's the kids. Here was a jet ski, and now these guys came along. There were a number of these I didn't show you, had passed back and forth around these kids. there were 4 jet skis coming up. One went that way. The other guy raced faster this way, and you can see the kids are in the path. They went by them. This guy got so confused he just twisted around, and the other guy came over this way. And then finally, this guy over here took off like a bat, took off like a nut job over this way. And again, when these guys spray like this, all of this mix you can't even see. And again, remember I showed you that a raft can be obscured. So when all of this is going on, and then you add all the spray, it's impossible to see, and it's an accident waiting to happen. Finally, I will just play what is audio, and you'll hear, it'll be self-evident. It's an example of okay, so what I played for you was the sound of the jet skis, which is like a leaf blower in your living room, and then the fact that when they blare their music on Oak Island or anywhere along there, it's just deafening. We've called the police on multiple occasions. And that's it. We have many thoughts on what to do, but the short answer is there's too many jet skis in too small a space, and either they ban the jet skis or have a no wake zone, because there's no other solution and someone's going to be hurt. Thank you.